Hi guys, HeinzVarietyNerd here, and you may have been watching a while back and you may know what's coming next, well now, right? Remind me to stop paying you, as you can't seem to remember what it is I tell you.
I get paid.
Shush. Without further ado, let us look at Diamond in the Firepit by Brother Firetribe. Now, what can I say about this album? Well, it's so 80s that my wardrobe's filled with flared pants and my deodorant's turned to hairspray. Not that I'm complaining, but I just bought that bottle. Now, I'm not expecting you to know who these guys are, but just take my word for it. They're one of the hidden gems of modern glam rock. They even have affiliations to the mighty Nightwish, and do I need to say any more about them? Unless you're not a fan of the music, of course. They formed in Finland in 2002, and their name comes from a bit of an in-joke where a member of the band described their name as tennis heavy. And apparently it's about one of the famous tennis players they've got there. I don't know, you might know. And apparently his name roughly translates to Brother Firetribe. It's also noted for having Empu Vorinen as the guitarist, and he's actually also the lead guitarist for Nightwish. You convinced with the Nightwish affiliations yet? No? Keep listening then. Well, keep watching. I'm sure you'll see the affiliations later. Their debut album was released under the name False Metal. It's the title of the opening track, and it reached in the Finnish charts at about, I think it was 22nd. Not bad for a small band when you think about it. Their second album, named Heart Full of Fire, that was released 2 years later. And it also featured Annette Olsen. See? She was lead singer of Nightwish. I think that definitely proves the Nightwish affiliations, especially when you consider that Empu Vorinen is still with the band. Now, she only featured for one song, and it was the title track. It's a very good track. In fact, check out the album. I have been doing myself, check that out. Now we get on to the biggie, Diamond in the Firepit. It took 7 years to release. It, like the other two albums, was released under the label Spine Farm Records, who just so happened to have Jet Black under the wing, now that I think about it. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, blow-by-blow description of the album, I want to discuss the album artwork. Now, just look at it, it's fantastic. It really does a good job of showing the colours that are associated with fire, and the band logo just stamps out at you straight away. It stands out, but it never leaves the album title itself feel like an afterthought. It's all very nicely put together. But now we get straight onto the album. Now, this album actually starts off annoying me a little bit. Track 1 is just about 15 seconds worth of studio, basically just white noise, and it did annoy me a little bit, but open mind and everything, and for review purposes. But track 2 is where the album starts to really kick off. It's called Love Is Not Enough, and it has a sound very reminiscent of Bonnie Tyler crossed with Fergal Sharkey. Now, on paper that sounds like a bit of a weird mix, I will admit, but the sound really pays off, especially on the ballads. For example, the one that I've got playing over the sound of this review, For Better or For Worse, and also Desperately, they really sell the album for me. They're very, very fantastic tracks, and For Better For Worse as a song really hits home for me. The lyrics are fantastic. And it also has sweeping guitar solos that would make Brian May blush. It also has what I'd characterise as a cover song done right. Winner Takes It All, which was originally done by Sammy Hagar. It was done for the Sylvester Stallone film. I forgot the name of it. I'm sure I will remember it at some point. And it's fantastic. It's probably one of the best covers I've heard in a very long time. It's very true to the original, but Brother Firetribe do put their own spin on the sound, but it still sounds quintessentially 80s pop rock, which is just fine by me. What can I say about this album? Overall, it's fantastic. There's a whole bunch of songs that I all love equally, apart from track 1, of course. It's well written, it's well produced, it's well performed, and I actually think this might actually be my number 1 album of 2013. And if you don't have it, then you should by now. It's a definite must-have for your CD collection. I'd thoroughly recommend it to anyone who's either a fan of 80s pop rock or the glam scene, and who's just a casual music listener as well. So, a 9 out of 10 from me. And this has been HeinzVarietyNerd, signing out.